Hello and welcome to this first webinar episode in the webinar series about how you can develop your own game model. So as you can see here, our starting point is the identity. This refers to who we are or who we want to be as a team. Then in the future we will look at the style of play, the curriculum, the methodology, the periodization, which refers to the what, the how, and the when in how we teach and how we coach the game. So the first thing I did when I started this process was look at who is a Munkvold FC player. Munkvold FC is a fictional club created only for this purpose. And the first thing was looking at my values, looking at which sort of players I wanted to develop and the sort of traits that I believed was necessary to reach professional football and to be a top player. And so the traits I decided on was a need to win mentality. They had to be adaptable players and they had to be ball winners. Once I had decided those traits, I had to make some principles for the coaches. So in trainings, we make a lot of competitions and we love competitions. We make chaos with frequent changes because the best players in the world are the ones who are able to make sense out of all this chaos. And we celebrate the ability and the mentality to win the ball and start an attack on your own. And we believe by having these principles in every training session, every game, every activity that we do, that we will develop players with these traits and we will prepare players for the next level of football. Leading on from that was deciding a game idea, the overall idea which sets the standard for everything else in the game model. This is based on our values and our traits, and it's to control the game by denying and creating moments of imbalance. In possession, can we get into better space as quick as possible, as good a space as possible? Out of possession, can we deny the opposition access to any better space? To link it all together, these are the different phases of play that we must practice in order to implement our style of play. And you can see here as well, it is all about that balance, imbalance. That is key to how I see the game of football. Therefore, that it has to be reflected on the game model so that what I create can be as close to my preferences as possible. Once deciding on the different phases of play, I've created an ideal outcome for each of the phases, as well as some principles, collective principles, in order to get from this phase of play into realizing our ideal outcomes. So when the opposition is in balance and we have the ball, we want to create imbalance and establish defensive mechanisms. We do that by the principles you can see underneath it. And that will be the topic of the next webinar. I hope this has been a good introduction. I hope you now understand a little bit more what to do in the identity part of your game model document.